Let's have some fun today. In a lot of ways, studying history is fun because you look at people in the past, a different world, different culture, yet you kind of connect with them because they share the same pains and hopes with you, and you connect across the arc of time. And that's kind of lovely. But then sometimes you learn about some of their practices and beliefs, and you're like, what? What were they thinking, and how could they possibly think that what they were doing wasn't a certifiably insane thing to do? Plus, there's another reason why I'm talking about this today. I'll tell you that at the end. So first, where else to find the crazies if not in Europe, our favorite hotbed of history stories? So in medieval Europe, and I wish I was making this up, law, societal rules, legal stuff like you cannot steal, you cannot trespass, you need consent, applied even to animals, which means animals could be sued and taken to court for trial if someone thought they broke the law. All kinds of animals like horses, insects, even dolphins. Yep, in 1596 in Marseille, dolphins were put on trial. There are actual records of at least 85 animal trials that took place. And if they were found guilty, they were punished, sentenced to death, burnt at the stake, or even acquitted. In 1386, a convicted pig was actually executed. And one time, a female donkey went to trial for unwanted sexual advances, but then she was acquitted after people certified her character as good. Even roosters were taken to court, and there are records of a rooster being taken to court because he magically laid an egg. And roosters remind me of men's fashion. Social classes, of course, were hugely important to medieval Europeans. And if you belonged to upper class, you had a ton of money and gosh, you needed to show that off. And of course, clothing is how you literally wear your money on your sleeves, right? In the medieval times, there was a fad of long, pointed men's shoes to show off their wealth. The longer your shoes, the richer you were, because, you paid for them. Sometimes the shoes did become abnormally long and they really did walk like that. But it wasn't just Europeans who were cute that way. The Chinese had a custom of, this is not cute. They had a custom of breaking and tightly binding the feet of young girls in order to keep the shape and size of their feet small. Because small feet were a mark of beauty and status symbol. The result being that all their lives, women's feet remained disproportionately small, which somehow people found attractive. And of course it was a painful practice because as the girls grew up, their feet remained bound and small, which made movement extremely difficult and of course very painful. These were called lotus feet. One more. There are many more, but today just one more. It's the Japanese this time, and yes, this also is not cute, I'm warning you. It was a thing called seppuku, which was a form of ritual suicide. In a very specific way, by disemboweling oneself. It was ceremonial and was performed in front of spectators. But it was a respected thing to do, and it was a rite reserved only for samurais. The samurai performing the seppuku would use a short blade called a tanto to cut his belly open from left to right while sitting on a white cushion. They usually did this to restore honor for their families or themselves, or to avoid capture by the enemy. There was usually an assistant standing behind the samurai performing the seppuku so that the assistant could sever the samurai's spinal cord and release them of prolonged pain. Showing any kind of fear or grief by the samurai before his seppuku was also considered a mark of dishonor. The earliest known acts of seppuku in Japan are from the 12th century. There are also some records from the World War II time. Please understand that a key part of understanding history is to realize that we cannot look at the past through the lens of our present. We've got to somehow take our biases and our sense of we are better away. So this video is not an attempt to say people in the past were dumb and we're smart. No, we are dumb too. The attempt is to understand that history is not a simple list of chronological events that happened one after other. It's a complicated fabric where emotions and ideas play a really deep role, and that's what we've got to understand. And now here is my main question. 200 years later from today, when we are gone, and the world has changed, what will they look back at and say was weird about us? What do you think? Tell me in the comments below. And if you like the video, you know what to do. I'd really appreciate that. Links are in the description. I'll see you next Monday with the Indus Valley Civilization. Bye-bye.